Welcome back to the channel. We have the 2023 Mercedes-Benz EQE 500 4MATIC SUV, and this is an all-new electric Mercedes-Benz SUV. We're going on a test drive. I'll tell you all about this car. Special thank you to Mercedes-Benz USA for providing this car for the week. I've had it for a few days and it's been a blast. We went to Park City and down in the Valley, Salt Lake City, and it's been a fantastic ride experience. Now, the EQE 500 4MATIC SUV has dual motors at the front and the rear. Total output 402 horsepower with 633 pound-feet of torque, and it does 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds. But I've been able to go a bit faster than that, about 4.4, sometimes 4.2 seconds in this EQE 500. In addition, it's a 5-passenger SUV, weighs about 5,500 pounds, and it's just a fantastic ride experience. What we have here today is the exclusive trim, and the total retail on this car is $98,000. This EQE 500 has a 90.6 kilowatt-hour battery, which provides about 268 miles of range according to Mercedes-Benz. In my drive experience, I've been able to get close to 285 miles of range in this car. I've gone up to Park City and down in Salt Lake City, and it's been a fun drive experience. And also, let's talk about charging in this EV. You can charge this car via regular AC charger and AC charging units in about 10.5 hours. You go from 10% to 80% or 100% in 10.5 hours. So if you have a charge point at home, you can connect your EV on a DC fast charger. You can actually charge this car in half an hour, about 32 minutes. But I think in my experience, on a hot day, it took about 47 minutes to go from, say, 30% to 100%. I'm not sure what the difference was, but that's really about the charging. Now, it depends where you charge your EV. Sometimes you can charge it through your dealership, and for me, I charge it through Mercedes-Benz of Draper, and they have a discount on charging this car. So I charge it about from, say, 45% to 100%, and it cost me less than $2. In fact, it cost me $1.58 to be exact. And I also went to a different charging station, charge point. They have DC fast chargers, and I went from about 30% to, I believe it was 80%, and it cost me $14. So there's a big variation in the charging on these EVs. So depends on how you charge your car. There are, charge stations everywhere. And through the MBUX infotainment system, there is an EQ menu right here that allows you to search for charging stations. It also has other data points or metrics. Shows you your charging. We're at 60%. It also shows you the range, electric range on this car. And you can see we have about 200 miles of range left, 208 miles, and there is an option to also maximize the range by enabling climate control restrictions, seat comfort restrictions, and interior restrictions as well. That adds about 7 miles of range right now. I've seen it add about 15 miles, but overall this is an ultra luxury cabin in this EQE 500. It has wood trim with the Mercedes style pattern up here. I'd recommend getting the wood trim just like it is here, because the black piano lacquer trim down here on the center console is a fingerprint as well as scratch magnet. So just so you know. Now, wood trim feels very good. It has leather, never gray, with Biscaya blue. So the upper dash is Biscaya blue. And also this car has 64 colors ambient lights, which means that it's active ambient lighting, which is excellent. and as you can see, it just pulls away like there is no tomorrow. It's excellent, zero turbo lag, no delay whatsoever. It's an electric car. Another awesome feature of this EQE 500 is we have MBUX, the Mercedes-Benz user experience system here. It has a ton of options and different data points. You can actually navigate via your voice or via the trackpad here. So that's another benefit of this EV. We've talked about the Mercedes EQ menu, shows you the charging metrics. This car also has a navigation system right here, which in this mode has a zero layer effect, which means the entire map is overlaid on the whole screen. This is an OLED touchscreen display. It's about 12.8 inches in diagonal dimension. Another awesome feature, this is 12.8 inch, and the digital instrument cluster is 12.3 inches. Has a number of driver themes. As you can see here, we have an understated theme. Excellent theme for driving when you have a long trip and you want to have a minimalist look. You want to enable this theme. I'm going to increase the AC just a little bit. It also has a sport theme right here, which you can use for those moments you want to, really step on the accelerator of your EQE 500. And there is a button, I don't know if you can see that, which shows you your G-forces on the car. So if you step on the gas, it shows you the red dot moves back, and that's what you have, right? So we have a phone menu as well, which you can connect Bluetooth and connect up to 2 devices. There is a radio menu here, which you can browse left or right. It's a nice, decent menu. What else? There is also a media menu right here. Let you see what's playing on your Apple CarPlay, which is what we have here playing. So this car connects to Apple CarPlay wirelessly. And you can see all my icons here that I use on my phone. We have Spotify, Teams, Google Maps, very nice. And let's go back. You can see the map. There is actually no delay, zero lag in this map. You can make calls, and you can even learn on Coursera, which is what I do sometimes on the car. Another feature we have in this car is, let's go back to home. We have apps. Now the apps show you the weather data, which is forecasts the weather for 48 hours or 10 days. So right now we're in Salt Lake City. It's 84 degrees, excellent. So it's starting to cool down, which is what I love. Now, as you drive this car, you can barely tell it's moving fast, so you gotta watch out for, how fast you're going. Obviously, there is a speed limit assist. I can see the speed limit icon on the digital instrument cluster here. And while we're at it, I'm gonna show you guys another awesome feature, autonomous driving, so self-driving. Press the on button, and then press, before we do that, let's go to the vehicle assistance menu right here. Now press the on button and then press set, and the car starts to drive on its own. So this is courtesy of the vehicle assistance menu, and it's fully autonomous. You can see the speed limits, and the green icons lets you know that, hey, the car is driving on its own. You can also change lanes. But one thing is that you have to keep your hands on the steering wheel, and it's gonna indicate, it's gonna flash red on the right hand side if you're not holding on or have your hand on the wheel. And that's really autonomous driving. You can see other cars passing by, And as the car drives off, we are going to look at the other apps. We have a browser. If you're stopped, you can actually browse the internet through this browser, so you can access content. You can also play games, you know, when you're stopped and you're waiting for a friend, or in a parking lot, you can play match 3, Sudoku, and things like that. The comfort menu has seat kinetics for the driver as well as passenger. What that means is I receive support from the base of the seat and the back as well. It adjusts to the road conditions and so on. Hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
Set ambient light to red.
Okay, I'm changing the color.
So the car is voice enabled. You can speak to Mercedes-Benz user experience. You see the icon right here? Yeah, it says keep your hands on the wheel. Okay, you can adjust a lot of options, from climate control systems to temperature and directions through the Mercedes-Benz user experience system, voice assistant. Let's go back. There is also an off-road menu here that is excellent when you go off-roading. It shows you the altitude. It also shows you the suspension and how your car is really navigating the terrain. It has a feature known as transparent hood. It lets you create an augmented reality image that lets you see almost transparent to the front wheels. And that's a nice feature if you happen to go off-roading and you want to just look out for rocks and the terrain as you drive. And we have a compass as well, and the direction of travel. And at low speeds, all the camera systems are enabled, and you can actually see all around the car in a 360-degree fashion. So remember, this whole trip, the car is driving itself. So we've done about maybe 4 miles, and it's really maintaining the lanes. And you can see there's a truck here, some cars ahead. I don't know, you can see that, so hopefully you can. And the other menu option we want to look at is info, and here we go. It's changing lanes. Love it. Lane change assist right there, and it's maintaining the speed with the cars ahead of us. That is awesome. So I'm still getting a warning message that, hey, keep your hands on the wheel. Very nice to have. So this is actually very relaxing, you know. Energy flow, there is another feature. As you can see, we have paddle shifters right here on behind the steering wheel. And the reason for that is there is a feature here known as recuperation, which means the braking action, let me cancel the autonomous driving. The braking action adds more power to the battery. So if I press the downshift, we have strong recuperation, which means that the car is constantly braking based on the speed of travel with the traffic ahead of you, which, you know, sort of adds power back to the battery. So you always have to keep your foot on the pedal, which let's just adjust that as well. If you press the upshift, it moves from a normal recuperation, from a strong recuperation to a normal recuperation, which means it's semi-autonomously applying the brakes. And as you drive, there is normal recuperation. There is a braking action which still adds power to the battery, converts the energy back to the car. And if you press the upshift again, there is no recuperation. Drives like a normal car, which means that you have to apply the brakes. I prefer to always drive in the normal recuperation, which means there is always constant charging back to the battery. So far so good. There is a vehicle menu here, shows you the acceleration, and also the braking action and dynamic select options. Let's set the car to sport mode, and sport mode is really a fantastic mode to drive in. The car just takes off in the sport mode, and it's just excellent for those situations when you have a exciting drive experience. And the second last menu is let me show you guys here. These settings has vehicle assistance, active lane change assist, active steering assist, and so on and so forth. Has a lot of different options. So it's it has a ton of options when you drive. So yeah, it goes for sure. The vehicle assistance options, let me press the downshift, so we have strong recuperation, which also helps you in braking. Remember that. We have vehicle options, car wash mode, and there goes my GoPro. Just turned off because it's hot. We're still gonna go recording on the other one. The car wash mode lets you adjust a number of options in the car automatically, prepares your car for the car wash. So there's a mirrors folded in, windows and roof closes automatically, comfort vehicle opening off, Parktronic is disabled, rain sensors disabled, as well as rear wiper turned off. And you can activate it once you get to the car wash. We looked at dynamic select options. This car has a number of drive modes: individual mode, sport, comfort, eco, and off-road.